absolutely shocking breaking news when it comes to the co-main event for the Mario Barrios versus Ryan Garcia card going down today. Richardson Hitchins, the junior welterweight IBF champion of the world, who was defending his title today against Oscar Duarte and Robert Garcia. A fight that everybody was anticipating to see. Richardson Hitchins trying to come in here and prove a point to the world on how great this man truly is. Oscar Duarte trying to go in there as the underdog, shock the world, put the pressure on him. It's all over as Richardson Hitchins pulls out of the fight due to illness. Bro, I guarantee you Richardson Hitchins probably got the flu. If you guys didn't see the viral video that was going around with Mario Barrios during the glove selection when Mario Barrios was blowing his nose with the napkins. They went to put the camera on him to ask him a question, the little interview. He sounded sick as hell.
Waiting on 147, glove selection's done. We're ready.
Mario Barrios caught the flu and is noticeably sick. Everybody noticed this. But don't forget, also at the last press conference for Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia, there was somebody who kept coughing during the whole press conference. Somebody kept coughing and you could hear it in the mic. Guess who that was? Richardson Hitchins. Yes. Richardson Hitchins must have caught the flu along with Mario Barrios. There's a bug going around, my people. And now, the fight is off. Now, I see other people saying, other conspiracy theories out there. We got to wait for what Richardson Hitchins has to say about this. But I'm seeing people say, maybe all this sickness is due to the IBF rules. And him trying to make the junior welterweight division looking like a crackhead. Looking like he's anorexic. Did you see this man at the weigh-ins? As soon as he stepped into the scale, I said, wow. Automatically, you can see the difference between every single fighter who's stepping on this scale. You can tell this is for an IBF world title. Them and their goddamn second weigh-in rule where you can't weigh in, 10 pounds over, 10 pounds more than the contracted weight limit the next day is making these fighters not fight at their best and be weak going in there. Making these guys get illnesses. Richardson Hitchins looked absolutely depleted. Along with possibly catching the flu. He's out the fight, bro. There is no way this man can fight like that. I see people saying, maybe Richardson Hitchins should move on up to the 147-pound weight class if he believes that it's the weight cut that possibly caused this illness. Now, at the end of the day, we don't know if that's the truth or if that's what happened. But one thing we do know is Richardson Hitchins ain't the only guy that's getting sick. And Mario Barrios is getting sick, and he don't fight for the IBF world title. It sounds like there's a flu going on, and this absolutely sucks. But it's great news. Great news for the undefeated middleweight prospect, born in Oakland, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, with a record of 15-0, 13 of those wins coming by way of knockout, who's fighting his toughest competitor yet, AMARI Jones versus Luis Arias. Arias has been in there with world-class guys already, dude. Erickson Lubin, Gabriel Rosada, Daniel Jacobs. This guy is possibly going to be the hardest test for AMARI Jones yet in his career. With a record of 22-6, definitely is, I would say, the most experienced fighter out of all the fighters that AMARI Jones has fought yet. They were supposed to be fighting on the free prelims that you could watch that wasn't on the pay-per-view card, the main card. And now all of a sudden, because the Richardson Hitchins and Oscar Duarte fight is canceled, they get bumped up. Boom! Higher pay. There's a video circulating around with Luis Arias saying, thank you. Now we're really going to put on a more exciting fight. It's a great opportunity for both fighters to be now part of this huge event, pay-per-view event, Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. Let me know what you guys think, man. We just finished watching the Leigh Wood versus Josh Warrington fight, and I looked at my phone and said, what? I can't believe this fight is canceled. Leigh Wood absolutely dominated Josh Warrington. It wasn't anything like the first fight I was hoping it was. At one point, I was thinking to myself, with Leigh Wood dominating every single round, possibly, in my opinion, leading up to the 7th round, you could have gave Josh Warrington the 2nd round. But once it hit round 7, I said to myself, imagine if we seen something absolutely ridiculous right now, where in the first fight, Josh Warrington was up in that fight against Leigh Wood before getting knocked out in the 7th round. I was thinking, with Leigh Wood up in this 2nd fight, imagine if Josh Warrington knocked out Leigh Wood. Because every now and then he was landing a few big left hooks, a few big right hooks, a few big right straight hands. Boom! Hitting the chin of Leigh Wood. But the second half of the fight, Leigh Wood just was too good, man. Completely outskilled him, used that southpaw style, had his great feet, great head movement, was able to get out of the pocket every single time Josh Warrington put him up against the ropes. Leigh Wood was in and out, ducking under, woo, flowing. And looked absolutely fantastic in a dominating win against Josh Warrington. Leigh Wood, once again back. Josh Warrington, man, you know, it's been a rough couple of fights. You know, his record now moves on to 1-4 in his last 5 fights. It might be time for Josh Warrington to hang it up, depending on what he wants to do in the sport of boxing. Whether he's trying to make money, there's still fights out there for him. But in becoming a world champion, I just don't think it's going to happen anymore, my friend.